everybody. Another edition of Benfica After 90. We got, we finally got a pretty good result here to celebrate. How you guys feeling?
Feel good. I
Feeling
feel
good?
relieved. I feel like, you know what? Fucking all right then. Let's see what this holds. Let's see what tomorrow holds, sort of thing.
Oh, man. I had a lot of fun today, man. I got to say, that was a very wild match. Absolutely wild match. I can't believe it. I'm blown away. It's the type of result you want to see, you know what I mean? As Boris just said, finally they play some football. It's perfect timing for Nelson to pop on, coming on after feeling so great about the game. And, clearly a great win. And I also agree that we're going to be talking about Everton quite a bit today, I think. Resurrected, man. This is and I guess I would start off. Let's start off with this, actually, that Boris just said. Game of the year, I'm still leaning towards the Barca game. But in terms of the potential to change this season, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like the 3-0 was just an outstanding win against Barcelona. Amazing. And then it kind of last month, we were tapering off. It didn't look that good. It's like, I don't think things are working out. It seems like things aren't clicking. This kind of win could feel like it's just like turning that page, moving in the right direction.
I think it's what, like you said, right? Yeah, because you have Benfica beating Barcelona 3-0, and it's like the best day of your life. But then you really look at Barcelona and how they've been struggling, and it's just like it plays it down a lot that you see them struggling against any team they play. They struggle, right? They got Xavi now, so we'll see what the future holds for them. I think today, in terms of the year itself, because of everything that was said during this week, because of that game, because of beating Barca 3-0 and everything sort of like went downhill from then, I think it's super important, especially like I think Joe mentioned it in the chat earlier on, like João Mário getting injured, Verissimo getting injured, us looking up, like we scored early, but then we conceded pretty much straight away. It could have gone like really badly, man. We could have like suffered even a 2-1 loss here. And we would have been like, you know what, let's hit that refresh button and start the season again. But we didn't. We didn't have to. I think overall a good performance by everyone. It was just good to see. It was good to see. I know some people that went to the stadium for the first time this year, and I was like, man, you guys must be fucking loving it. Remember, Pedro was there, a few other people, and they were like, man, this is like. I chose the right game, you know what I mean? It's like imagine going to Portugal for a weekend and landing that game. You think, fucking hell, all right. Yeah, Ethan, what do you think?
Yeah, it was a very good game to begin with. I was like quite nervous, of course. João Mário went sort of injured and then came off the pitch. Then Everton had a bit of a knock, and then Lucas Verissimo, he had a bit of a knock as well, and then actually came off. So to begin with, I was real worried. But I think we kept it professional in the way we set up, and we just kept on doing what we were trying to achieve, what was those 3 points, and what we eventually got in a kind of good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, a very from a stat standpoint or data standpoint. So the last 4 visits against Braga that we've had, or last 4 matches against Braga, we've only won 1. So there was this like misconception as if somehow we plow through Braga every single match we do. That has not been the case for a while. And just to add a bit more on it, you have to go back to August 20th. If you look at Braga's Liga NOS fixtures, August 20th till just before today, they conceded 6 goals in Liga NOS.
Yeah. They
conceded 6 today. So, lately against that team, we haven't been getting the win. We've been struggling to get that W. They're a well-organized club. They're well-managed. They got decent talent. They put up a good fight. It wasn't just a win. It was a complete thrashing, complete utter dominance. My God, was it amazing. And I guess maybe we should, before we all start ranting about all these different parts of the game, because I know we're going to rant a bit about it because it's quite good. Maybe let's go into the starting 11. What do you think? Just get those numbers up there for everyone.
Let's do that. And hi to the chat as well, man. There's quite a few people like, Lucas here from Arsenal. They're playing quite good football. You got Zach as well, tuning in for a couple of minutes before he has to go to bed. Little kids and that. Got Boris. It's not Boris, is it? How amazing would it be if we had Boris watching our pods? Boris.
No, this is like Boris's like the guy's in charge of Boris Johnson. He's like
Oh, mate,
out of
that'd be
Sweden,
fucking sick.
Boris.
Yeah, mate.
And Zack Attack's gonna be completely hyped up from the match. Right?
The vegan sausages. Vegan. Oh, man. Oh, anyway. Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Right, let's get to this. All right, let's get to the starting 11. All right, for today's lineup, we start off with Odysseus in net, Gernmaldo, Vertonghen, Otamendi, Verissimo, Gilberto, Weigl, João Mario, Everton, Rafa, and Darwin. That was Benfica's starting 11 for this match. As Ethan alluded, we definitely needed the subs today, from Bernardo to Marat to Rams to Pizzi to Diogo Gonçalves. That was the 11 that we had for our match today. All right, guys. So that is the lineup there. It's that's definitely the lineup we started with, and within the first few minutes of this match, not the lineup we had. So, what Ethan was just saying, man, I gotta say, off the get go, what a match! Back and forth, we were pressing very hard. Braga was pressing just as hard back. It was tit for tat. We got the early goal, which was absolutely amazing. Like, it felt just outstanding to have a lead the way we just got, because it felt like lately we haven't been getting that. But Braga just like went back on the counter hard. They pressured us, high press. It paid off. It was 1-1. Kept that press going, and lately how we've been playing, man. I think Benfica should be fair to kind of feel nervous, not feeling too comfortable about how things were going. But God, man, as soon as we got it back 2-1, Braga kept pressing and we kept punishing them, and the rest is history. So lots to talk about. I'll kind of pop into the chat because people were like saying quite a bit of great comments. Sabalinga deserves the praise. Bernardo also. I will say, to me, such a game-changing moment. João Mario's injury. I swear Jorge Jesus a few months ago would bring on Taarabt.
Yeah.
To bring on Bernardo at such a critical match. This is critical. It's do or die. To believe in the youth. That's a criticism that George Hughes fairly had. To believe in it, that's the right move he had, man, and it paid off.
I think as well, man. Like, I don't want to be too. I liked Mate. I just feel like recently, like even Boris mentioned it. It just slows down the game a lot. Like, it's great defensively in terms of, like, he can body people out of the ball, and it feels like, I don't know, it just feels he plays in like slow motion. I don't know, and maybe he needs a year to adapt, the same way that also Nelson said about Yaramchuk. Hopefully he needs that year to adapt, but I don't know. He just feels really slow. It just feels like he doesn't respect the league or the football we play. It's almost like, I know this is like, Mickey Mouse leagues. I can just, be really slow. And he really isn't, man. Like, you have, especially against good teams, who, he need to be switched on. It doesn't seem to be that. He seems to be switched off very easily. So, yeah, it was very good to see the new kid. It was funny when he came on. I was, when you always go like, this is it, boy. You're going to come in, you're going to have the game of your life. And this is when you're going to, in a year's time, you're going to be worth like 100 million, And he had a good game. I wouldn't say 100 million, but like, yeah, he had a really good game. And that props to Darwin as well, man. In my opinion, with my own eyes, that's the best game I ever seen Darwin play. Not because of how attacking he was, the amount of work he put in defending. That was a moment in the game where he unfortunately didn't get the ball back, but he tackled in the same play. He tackled 4 times. He just kept chasing that ball around, and unfortunately he got unlucky with the rebounds. But he just kept chasing the ball, and I like to see that in a player.
Yeah, man, and it's a kind of match that you kind of mentioned your buddies going to the game. What a match for them to pick. What a match for Bernardo Silva, Felix, Cancelo, Ruben Diaz. These guys like, yeah, let's get together. Let's go watch a Benfica match. Lately they haven't been too hot, but we got to go out and support this club. And did it really pay off, especially for João Felix, who me and Luigi were going back and forth whether he played on today or not. I didn't think he played. Luigi is correct. He did play. I'm like, because I'm watching the thing. I didn't see the Atletico game. I'm like, oh, João Felix is saying he didn't play. Luigi's like, no,
I did.
You watched
And
the
I
game.
questioned my own eyes, bro. I was thinking, he came on, right? Because I remember he came. It was they were winning by 2 goals when Felix came on, and I was like, "Come on, boy, get that goal!" And then they drew the game, and I remember, was I drunk? Was I? Because I was in bed, I was just chilling, watching the game, and I was thinking, maybe I dreamt of this. Maybe I like fell asleep and dreamt that Felix was playing, but like I was like, "Fuck, no, you actually played." Okay, cool. So yeah, my man finished the game, got a cab to freaking airport, and went, "I'm out. Peace."
Private jet. Man, what'd you think of Bernardo, Ethan? Obviously, you made a comment about him off the get-go, but how do you feel seeing the kid? Do you think the kid is? I know João Mati's the main guy, right?
Yeah.
But the kid keeps putting on good performances. João Mati's a bit older. He needs some rotation. Before it seemed to go to is either Tarat wasn't working, maybe Met. You know what I mean? Now, not João Mati. What the heck am I saying here? Bernardo, right? So yeah.
No.
Anyways, yeah.
Oh, I was very impressed with him, to be honest. It's not easy coming into a game at, I think it was 1-1 at the stage, slotting into a position what João Mario does very, very well. He kind of dictates the kind of game for us, especially in that midfield. And he came on and I thought he did very well. And like with João Mario, I remember like quite earlier on, he like passed the ball off and like the camera was like on pitch side, and he was holding his back, and I was thinking he's injured himself already, like he's got a knock or something, and literally like 5 minutes later he had to come off. And then Everton had the same problem, and like we were saying, weren't we, there was a problem in like the medical department or something like that, because to have 2 injuries in the same game at almost the same time is quite rare, to be fair. So, but yeah, going back to Bernardo, he was really impressive, I think.
Yeah, and I agree, man. I agree. And Zach, no, sorry, Nelson just needs to go. And somebody said, well, I read something. Why does? Oh, can you guys explain something for me? Why the hell does Otamendi give up his captain armband?
Actually, yeah. I was gonna.
That was funny though. I was like, this guy comes up to the pitch, and the first thing he does is like, "Hey, Otamendi, you're an armband, boy."
There's a funny setup at Benfica because, and I think it's ass backwards ever since Luizão called it a day. They haven't figured out the captain's situation at the club. I think the default situation at the moment, and I'll verify right now, is that Almeida is the captain, and when Almeida's not playing, the vice captain is Pizzi, and when Pizzi's not playing, I think it defaults to Otamendi, right? So, but it's pretty ridiculous in my opinion. Like,
so my question is, what if Otamendi doesn't play? Who does he go to then?
Well, right now Pizzi rarely starts. Almeida barely starts. If Otamendi's not rotating, that's when you kind of see random people. I've seen. I think I saw Vertonghen one day had it. I saw.
Fucking hell.
Like it just bounces around. There's like
I would be surprised if Grimaldo has it as well, because he's been there for long. So they might go, no, give it to that kid. He's been here for long.
I wouldn't be shocked if they give it to Darwin at this rate. My God, it's insane. Like, but I think that's something they should, they should clean up, man. I really think so.
Exactly.
And Zachariah, so Zach here says, we don't want another Florentino situation where we got these like talented young players that we just can't figure out or find a place on the team and they go elsewhere. I'll say one thing. So to go back to Everton, so the situation that was irritating me lately, obviously Everton hasn't been showing up for Benfica, but Everton is a talented player. And we've had this situation for the past 3 or 4 years where we have lots of talented players that just can't seem to find their talent at Benfica, but they'll find it on a national team. They'll find it at the clubs prior to being at Benfica. And then when they leave Benfica, they find their talent, their footing again. Like RDT was scoring goals in La Liga, goes to Benfica, can't score to save his life, goes back to La Liga, can score goals. Jota looks like a promising young guy, gets a little bit of time with Benfica. He's like a god in Celtic right now. You know what I mean? Like Florentino is a good example. So I was kind of dreading to an extent because Everton has not been working out. It's been a train wreck with Everton. Yet he still does show for Brazil. He showed up prior to going to Benfica. I was just getting this like raunchy feeling that either in the winter window or summer window, this guy's going to go. And he's going to go light up somewhere else, So it's just to see him show up today because there's a difference between a guy that you think has raw talent but has never shown it, so you're hoping one day he shows it, versus guys who've shown it and they're not showing it for us. You know what I mean? It's like an extra level of frustration. And so I think today Everton, deserves a lot of props. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but when they did the substitution, the standing ovation, the fans gave him some love because they've been giving him a lot of hate, to be honest, and rightfully so, because he's been not showing up. But they gave him lots of love, which is good to see. And he almost looked like he broke down, like when he hugged George Jesus. He was very emotional. You know what I mean? And it's like he's gone through a lot. It's great to kind of see him and have this kind of result. And hopefully that's what he needs, man. Hopefully he goes to Brazil, kills it on the Seleção there, comes back, kills it for us. And it's a start of something bright.
I think it's a relief. Like, obviously, I never got to that stage in any sort of footballing career, but like, I think it's a relief when you believe in yourself and you know how good you are, but you show it in training, perhaps, but you can't show it on the pitch. And it's like, yeah, it's all good scoring a hat trick every day in training, but if you can't score a couple in, day in, day out, when you're playing a proper match, no one's going to see that, right? I think it's more of a relief. There's a reason why he was there. There's a reason why JJ brought him on, right? It's because he believes in him. And the fact that he was able to repay that, that trust and do it, I think it's a relief because he knows now the fans see it as well, right? The fans saw those 2 goals. It wasn't just like a Monday morning in a training ground. So I think the fact that he comes out and has a little bit of a, I wouldn't say cry, but like a little like chill, like, oh man, that was great. It's good. It's good to see that. It's good to see that the players care when they have a good performance. They care that, I've done good. I've done my bit. I've done good. I'm proud of myself, and I want to do. I want to do well for this club. We got 20. We got 20 squids. I don't know what currency that is, but that squids.
That's the we talked about the one time. That's the Sweden.
Psych.
Sweden, yeah, it's sick.
Oh, it's Sweden. Nice one.
Yeah. Gilberto, Gilberto lately, we talked about it recently, how he stepped it up, how he's one of these guys that, rightfully was getting the chouriço left, right, and center last year and has, devoured that chouriço, become one of the chouriço, and just surpassed being a chouriço to something great. And the guy's been rocking it, man. He's been rocking it. He's killing it. And he's just getting better and better. And I love it. It's just little things that you saw potential in are starting to click, which is amazing, man. I'm personally feeling very happy about the situation right now. So it's what would you think of to get Ethan in here? What do you think of Gilberto's performances? And by the way, thanks so much, Boris. Much appreciated.
Gilberto, yeah, he had a solid performance. Today he's been, as you said, getting better and better throughout the season. I think maybe 2 seasons ago, maybe even last year, we were saying like we should be getting rid of him, but he has kind of stepped it up a bit. What is good, I think it takes time to settle into a league like this.
My God,
I don't think it's easy at all. So I think maybe we're kind of seeing a new side of him, and maybe, you never know, he might be the starter. Doubt it, but maybe.
We'll never know. Well, quick question though, mate. Mario, £4.50, yeah? That can buy you a freaking... What can that buy you in Canada? Surely that you can buy a couple of houses with that, right?
No, not in Canada, man. You can't buy a house, save your life in Canada. Housing's out of the
Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that, man.
No, Zach, thank you so much. We gotta so Zach knows how this stuff runs behind the scenes. We don't. I think Luis does, but I gotta pick his brain a bit more. We gotta make some bells and whistles, you get stuff. I don't know.
I'm off tomorrow. Yeah. We'll get our we'll get Zach knows. Yeah, we'll get our subscriptions going up. So we need to agree on a price. We're probably like £3 or whatever, and you can become a subscriber and support the channel directly. And you get some emotes to use in the chat. You'll get
some nudes.
Probably yeah, boy. I gotta
Ethan. We'll get you all
probably
the
do a giveaway as well. Probably do a giveaway to go with that as well. We'll see.
We're gonna get all like the behind the scenes drunk clips
signed
of Ethan.
Pictures and stuff.
Like anytime Ethan's shit face, you're gonna get those videos.
That's never.
He never gets shit face, man. This guy's he's a true I don't know, true
sportsman.
That's the one. True sportsman, yeah. I don't know why that wasn't coming out, mate. So
it's the drinks,
well, I've been drinking all day, man.
Basically, the Champions League. This is a great comment. Don't you guys feel like the Champions League games kind of almost hoped that it could have beat Bayern? He kind of felt kind of confident in that game. That first game against Bayern Munich, man. Yes, they were up 1-0. It was a tight game, and then it just all fell apart in the dying minutes. And even playing Bayern Munich in Germany for the first little bit, it felt kind of tight I don't know, but it felt like the wheels were slowly coming off. October was not a nice month, man. It was a scary month. Halloween, kind of, it's a little too scary this year. I'm like a child sometimes. I I like a little scary things, but relax. I keep it PG friendly, and I didn't like it.
I want to say as well, man, like going back to the Champions League games. Like, by the way, this is in no way a trophy or in no way a huge achievement, but it's a positive. You did score 2 goals against Bayern Munich, right? And I'm not saying like, oh, we should have, we should have gone to the airport and said, oh, well done, guys. We only got, no. But I'm just saying, like, this is a team that doesn't concede goals, let alone 2. When they concede a goal, is because they pretty much go, fuck it, let them have 1 goal. No, we gave him a good fight.
We gave him a good fight.
We gave him a good fight, and I truly believe, man, like if by any chance we are able to keep our players instead of just selling him the first year, like look at Felix. Think about Felix, right? He went to Athletic Madrid. My man comes on in the 85th minute, or whatever, 84th, whatever, doesn't do shit. And I'm not saying, look, he's a clever one. He went there, he's getting his paycheck, he doesn't care. Fair enough. But stay another year. Like, why are you going the first instant, the first market, first little paycheck you see? Go. And I'm not saying don't sell him at all, because I mean it's Liga Nosh. I understand that's gonna happen. But just stay a couple years,
Especially he's so young as well.
Exactly. Why do you have to leave in the first instant? Like for me, it was sorry, bro. Go ahead, Ethan.
Sorry, yeah. If he was like 26, maybe you can understand where he's coming from. But when he was playing for us, he was like, how old was he? 18, 19?
Yeah, like the early 20s, man. Like my point is, you go in the first. What the fuck am I going? The first ever, like the first chance, basically, you got to leave. You go. And I get it. It's 126 million euros. I get it. It's a no-brainer. He has to go. I get it. But he's not a first. And I'm afraid I feel like he won't be the last. And I think that's where we go wrong. We had and have a little bit of money. We're in the Champions League. We can keep these guys. Like Bernardo today, right? If he has a great second, like if he has
keep him longer. Exactly.
But the thing is, if he has a great, like, I don't know what, 4 months, right? It's November, 5 months, right?
Yeah.
You'll go to like freaking, I don't know, like Real Betis or something because he's getting a paycheck. Because we'd rather sell him and then buy someone from Dortmund. And it just doesn't make sense to me. And that's where Bayern goes right. And so many other clubs, they keep their players and they buy within their league. We don't. By the way, no shots to Weigl. I'm just saying, like, if Florentino had more time, if we had kept more of our players, if we had kept Renato Sanchez, couldn't they be the Weigl today? Like, do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say here. We just sell them. Go. All right. Fair enough. We have to buy some players. I just think that sometimes we sell too quickly.
Yeah, and I think that'll change. We did have a question in the chat that came out about Verissimo's injury. No official word. It's still very early, but it wasn't pretty.
No.
Ethan, you kind of had a bit of a potential thought of how bad it could be, right?
Yeah, well, what he done basically is like, I'm no like proper science guy, but at university is like we do like this sort of sports injury kind of stuff. But he basically hyperextended his knee, what could link to like MCL or ACL injuries. So if it's his ACL, that's like 9 to 18 months out. MCL can be about 12 weeks. So it can be quite bad.
I don't think it's on the ACL. Go for it. Yeah.
It's a quick note. I don't know if you guys know, but his wife is already left for Brazil. So if he's not going, well, I mean, I'm not trying to take the piss, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, she's already left. He's like, well, I'm gonna go out with Tarapt, but you stay in Brazil. I
got some soreness down below. I gotta take care of.
I hope not. I hope it's like a 1 month tops.
I think where I got nervous was when he
fuck off! Don't break my dreams.
This is where I kind of leaning towards what Ethan was saying. It looked like a really on slow motion. That was nasty. The way his knee bent sideways, that's not proper.
The whole yeah.
But then where I started feeling better is he's off to the sideline by the net, standing up. And they're doing the magic spray, whatever. They're kind of spraying some cold, fresh air on there. Give him a breather, and it's like, oh, maybe hopefully it's not that bad. Maybe he tweaked it. Hopefully it's not that bad. but then they call for the sub, and he couldn't even walk. Like he was standing, he got help up, but then he had to be carried out of the stadium. So that usually is a sign that you mangled it pretty bad. Like if you can't, especially if you can't walk off.
When it happened, literally like live, I was just there like straight away. When he's just hyperextended that, and all it is basically his joints being forced into a position where it's not supposed to be. If that makes sense, it's like kind of being caved on itself.
Yeah,
and it's like it's not good like at all. Like there's only one outcome sort of thing, unless he's got off lightly. What I doubt it.
So we rested some players against Bayern Munich, and Moratu played, and Moratu had like a stud performance against Bayern Munich. He did actually quite amazing, and he came on today and looked quite amazing. I'm not saying you ever want to see a guy get injured on a team, but it's nice to kind of see the backup plan looking as good as it's looking right now. So hopefully he can he can make it go at it and give a good run, because it's nice. We need that depth in the center back position anyway. So we'll hear more news in the coming days. Thankfully, it is a break regardless. Obviously, he's likely not going to Brazil, and we got a little bit of time till the Liga starts. I did want to loop back because there's a Barcelona comment made. Xavi took over at Barcelona. For those who have not been following the sport, it's quite interesting. It's very rare you have players with limited experience come in and kill it. Like I know Zidane did amazing.
Zidane? What the fuck is Zidane?
Zidane.
Like an F1 car going by. Zidane.
But those Spanish names.
What? Spanish?
No,
It's Italian.
French. He's Italian. No. Anyways, I put a splash of juice in my rum today. So, anyways, but yeah, I had it up there for a moment. Looks like a stellar start, 3-0. He's killing it, and my God, all of a sudden, our boy Nolito, with an assist from Servi, gets the second goal, and then in the dying minutes, it makes it 3-3. Things are not hot at Barcelona, man. They're not working well. They got lots of injuries. Now it's going to be international break. He doesn't get too much time to play with these guys. And then all of a sudden, Barcelona's in the middle of the table. It's quite dicey because the odds of Barcelona winning the Champions League are very low, extremely low. Even if they're to advance, I don't think anyone has any betting odds right now on them. But being ninth in La Liga, and you should be top 4. If you're Barcelona, there's no ands, ifs, or buts. Like you should always be in the top 2, top 3. There's gonna be some serious pressure. You got to win now, big time. Like the gap, from Atletico Madrid, which is 4th place, is 23 points. It's a 6-point gap. It's easily closable, but Atletico's gonna put up a good fight at staying up there. Sevilla is a decent side. You got Real Madrid, and Sociedad is just having a crazy season right now. And so Barcelona's kind of got to give it their all. They come back from international break. They got a local troublemaker in Espanyol that's going to, give them a good run for their money before we go and visit them a few days later, right? I think they play on, I think it's the 20th and the 23rd is when we face them. So there isn't much time for Barca to adjust. And so how sick would it be if we take this current form? I know we're not really talking much about the Brag game, but take the 6-0 kind of performance and get a result and lock in that second place, man.
The chat has been clutch. Right, Ross came out with busy off the bench was about as useful as a glass hammer.
I gotta find this. Where the fuck is it? That's hilarious.
Busy it's the last one. It's the and then you got Fabs 5,000 with a bit of positivity, but then JJ is to the waste, man. I would like to add something. I know you went on a Barcelona there. I just want to go back to the match a little bit, right? Like, good game, 6-1. I just have one thing to point out. That all of this is my opinion, but the 5 at the back, or the 3-5, or the 3-5, whatever, or 3-4, basically, when you play like that always works against a team that presses quite high. That's how, realistically, I love Carvajal. But it's almost like he walked into that one because, like, with 3 centre-backs, a left-back and a right-back, I'm almost always going to have a chance to get out of that pressure. And then you break. So, I mean, I'm not trying to, just throw the win out of the window. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like you're not off the hook, bro. You're not off the hook because realistically, that's what smaller teams do because they know the other team is gonna try and press and get our ball back and they'll break. Especially when you have a better team. And I think where Braga went wrong.
And you guys got like Rafa and Darwin and like guys with pace that can just
exactly
create chaos on a break.
If you know, and I think that's where Carvalhal went wrong. And who the fuck am I to question the guy? But for me, he went wrong because he doesn't have a team to do that. He don't have a team to do that. If he was the other way around, I'd fully respect it. Let's pressure them because Braga wouldn't have a team, in my opinion, to do what we did to them. Even though with the likes of Galeno, Lucas Piazon let me down a lot today, man. So yeah, stay at Braga. Galeno, I love the guy. Like I think Galeno could definitely join Benfica, but that's a different story. I just think today, with all the respect and praise to JJ, he's done well, but he's done nothing different.
Yeah,
it just happened that what he did was exactly what you need to do against a team like Braga. You know,
can I say one thing though? This Benfica under pressure, I felt lately it doesn't matter if it's Porto Muniz or Bayern Munich. You put pressure on us, we were buckling. We were literally like as a club for the last month struggling. In the first, it's funny if you actually break down the first half, second half. First half, it was almost 50-50 split on ball possession, equal number of shots between the two sides. And literally up until we got that second goal, it was dicey, man. Like the Braga had a game plan. They went hard. If you pressure us and Odie, and one thing that happened differently that I complained about this past week was this time around when Odie got the ball, he distributed it correctly, allowing us to break out and kill Braga. The amount of times where we're getting high pressured and our guys turn around, pass the ball back to Odie, and he punts it and gives it back to the opposition in recent games has been this reason why we've been kind of stuck. We can't get out of first gear. We can't like organize and make a proper counter. And today it clearly went to game plan. It worked. I agree with you, man. It worked to George Jesus' advantage. It works to Benfica's advantage, that kind of style, if a team's going to play against us. But lately, we haven't even been able to take advantage of our own style, right? So I feel like it really broke out. Second half, it was 71% possession to us versus 29. We had 5 shots. They only had 1. It like the game was won in the first half. At that point, it was, the 4-1. It was done, right? And but yeah, for a while there, Braga was in it. There's a chance Braga. I felt like Braga could come take it from 1-1 and get the lead. And even though we got 2-1, we still had a little bit of absorption. And then Rafa broke out again and got another goal, and then it was done. From that point on, it was on like over. But yeah, go ahead, Ethan, man.
Yeah, like I agree. Like I think they were very much better off kind of playing like sort of a low block, mid block, in Braga's point of view, because by playing high pressing football creates gaps in behind. And when you've got people like Rafa, Everton, who have got so much pace about them, that would just leave them so exposed. So even though, yes, we're not the best under pressure, but if we can get out of that, what they will be training to do every single day is get out of tight areas. If we get beyond that, then we're so lethal because we have got fast attacking wingers, fullbacks and striker at top. So I think very much playing for them a low block, not maybe putting 11 men behind the ball, but just playing real deeply will stop those balls getting in behind sort of thing. Because then what can Rafa do? He can't use his pace to get past them because he'll just be running into a brick wall sort of thing. So like I think very much our game plan worked, and they had a game plan. It worked for very briefly, and then we kind of figured that out and got out of it and somehow scored 6 goals, what I think was fully deserved.
I just want to add as well, man. Like Miguel mentioned in the chat as well. I feel like such an idiot. Honestly, I feel like such an idiot when I say this, but like I have people that like sort of are very close to the club that tell me that the week wasn't very good because Otamendi was fighting with JJ, and like I know a lot of people are gonna say it's media, and I believe that most of it is media. I also believe that it's not all media, because the guy that said that has only been wrong about one single thing in his entire time. The entire time I've known him, he's been wrong about Cavani. That's the only thing he's been wrong about. Every signing, every speculation, every purchase, anything, he's always there a few hours before, even sometimes days before. And he did tell me that was some headbutting, headbutting in the dressing room, and there was some words flying around. And I honestly sometimes feel like, JJ sort of like got put into place, and at one point I was like, let us play our football, and we'll prove you wrong. And I don't know. I mean, I hope that's what happened. I hope at one point the captain, Otamendi, went, listen, let us play our football. You got the formations. You're the coach. We know that. We respect you. Respect us. And if that's what's happened, and JJ went, go out there and prove me wrong then. And if that's what they did, man, fucking hell, like, I'm more than happy. If it was more, I don't know, if it was just a fluke, it could have been a fluke. Like I said, even like I said, it's a broken watch. Even a broken watch is right two times a day, right? 2 times per day, whatever.
Yeah.
So that your formation that barely works has worked this time. I guess we'll have to wait until the shitty international break and stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, I honestly believe that was some sort of friction there, because otherwise you wouldn't have been, maybe not as bad as the media makes it, or Otamendi wants to leave and all that stuff. But that was some words that was said. Like, Otamendi said, "Oh no, everything's fine." Of course, man. Like, Everton said in an interview, I don't know if you guys know this. Everton said in an interview that JJ was crazy. Not in a necessarily bad way. He just said, "Oh, he's crazy, man. He just wants to win." And then he got fined by the club. Steps onto the pitch today and does what he does. He does that. And I don't know, man. Sometimes people, players, managers, they need a little shake up. Maybe that's what we needed. It's a little shake up.
Yeah, you sometimes have it with any team. Think of an office. Think of a company you work at. Think of like a regular, whatever, your boys hanging out. Sometimes you have a shake up between the group of people. It's a bit of a dicey situation, but it brings you closer together when it's all said and done, or it breaks the group apart. And that's why these shakeups can scare the heck out of people. And I think there is honest truth to the fact that George Jesus under the gun. He had a record spend. He failed horrifically badly last year. This was his year to prove it. He had now more time with the team, got even more pieces of the team, and this month was rough. I got to quickly just put this up on the screen, because I always get a kick out of anytime anyone brings up this friggin' knucklehead here. I always think of this idiot here who has been like trolled online countless times, that mocked Ruben Diaz, and just, to this date, I saw it again today, it being retweeted again, where they mocked the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
And it's just every single, the guy gets just crucified for it. That always cracks me up. But it's funny how things have turned out the way that they have. Fucking Joker. I love it, man. Rafa spun him around so good today. It was absolutely amazing, man. Absolutely amazing.
I honestly, at the end of the game, I don't like tweeting, man, because like people tweet, like, just like Facebook, just like a little bit less Instagram. Twitter can be toxic sometimes, man. People just don't. So I didn't want to be toxic, because I don't need that shit in my life. But I wanted to tweet at Braga and say, next time bring some chairs. Like, because every single place, someone got sat down. I'm like, what the fuck? These guys have spent more time like on their ass than on their feet. And I wanted to see, like, next time bring some chairs. But you say that, and freaking, Revolution 2021 starts on Twitter. So I was like, fuck it. I'll just say it on the pod, I guess. I said
it. Yeah, no, the Seferovic thing, man. I heard these stories, Seferovic getting called up. I was a bit worried he might start again, or he's going to get brought on. I tell you, there's this pivotal moment. There was a choice today by George Jesus when João Mario getting hurt, with Verissimo getting hurt, with decisions he could have made where he could have, instead of bringing on Bernardo, he could have brought in Taarabt. When Verissimo got injured, he could have switched up the formation, maybe brought Metin, you know what I mean, to kind of go with the 4 in the back and kind of more the other, instead of bring on Ramsey, he brings in Seferovic in the dying minutes of the game. I like that he didn't do it, man. I like that he's looking at what the future holds at this club. And that's what we need to do, man. I think this is important, because these other jokers aren't going to get us there. I mean, they might be plugs that might do the job here and there, but we kind of need to build towards what the future of this team will look like. And I like seeing it.
We've mentioned that back in the day, JJ may have done this, JJ may have done that. He might have, like you said, he might have put Seth on, he might have brought Mate on, changes. Do you think that is change of, at least for today? I'm not saying overall, but at least for today, his change of mentality, his change of approach may have to do with the fact that Vieira's not the president anymore. You got Rui Costa up there now. That may or may not, and I'm not saying he does. I'm saying, will that be? Is there any chance that Rui Costa's come to him and say, "Look, things have changed a little bit. I trust in you, but I need things done slightly different, and this is what I want." Like, I don't know. I'm just asking the question.
I believe it, and I believe it for this much, and everyone listening can take it for what it's worth, because of people I've talked to, have known in the past. George Jesus's first stint, he did well, but he was also a very disrespectful individual at the end of the day. And part of the choice the club made not to renew George Jesus, it was Benfica's choice to not keep George Jesus originally, was supposedly Rui Costa was a sporting director. He kind of looked at what we had with Bernardo Silva, looked at the talent we had coming up, the talent we were losing, and there was supposedly a lot of butting heads of what the future of the club was. And supposedly Rui Costa was on the don't renew George Jesus, let him walk. We can do better than him.
Yep.
Rui Costa got blamed heavily then afterwards when things imploded to an extent, saying, "Oh, he's the sporting director. He was the one kind of pushing for the youth academy, things of the sort." And my understanding is when they had the whole presidential election bit, like when he was an interim president and he was going to run for the election, that in August, early on in August, when they were kind of going through the whole motions, trying to figure out what the next steps were, there was talks that if George usually went on a rough start to the season, that Rui Costa was ready to pull the plug on him, because he's like, I'm not about to not be the president of Benfica because this guy, which is LFE's guy, refuses to listen or refuses to kind of play ball with the team, right? So I do think there's a different level of communication. I don't want to bring George Jesus down. I think the fact is that there's a different mentality at the top. Lucio Vieira was only worried about Candy Crush scores and what he could sell next match and things of the sort. He didn't understand what was going on the pitch. Like if we won 6-0 or lost 6-1, he wouldn't understand why anything happened, because he just clearly has always admitted he doesn't like the sport. He doesn't like watching it. He watches the bare minimum. I think George Jesus has in him a president that actually knows what's going on the pitch, and he can have a sound conversation and possibly a future. And so I hope the relationship is getting better, but I think also there's some legit pressure. I think it's show up, man. You got to show up. If you don't show up, I know guys out there that can do better. And he truly does. He has a Rolodex of contacts that he can call and say, listen, I can bring someone else on. But yeah, well, there's a comment here, man. I still think, just like we got excited about Barcelona, we can't get too excited about the 6-1.
I think
to go on a good run.
I think that comment explains very well why we can't play the five at the back all the time. Like, you have to know the team you're playing against. If you're playing a slightly smaller team, you have to go for a 4-3-3 or even a 4-4-2 and keep the ball and have more attacking. Because the thing is, you can't invite all the pressure onto you all the time if the other team is not going to press you. But how are you going to play? The thing is, the way it worked so well today is because Braga wanted to attack. Braga wanted to punish us. Braga wanted to come out as like Bayern Munich does.
They tried to make a statement.
Braga came out. I even said this on the chat. I said Braga came out at us like they were Bayern Munich. They weren't Bayern Munich. You don't have the players to do that. So go back to Braga with 6 in the bag. But if you're Bayern Munich, you can't do that. Now, if you don't do that, we're third place, and I think fourth place has got 8 points less than us, or 7 or 8, right? So that just shows the difference, right? Teams are not going to come at us like, no, they're going to sit back. If you sit back with 5 players and sit back with, let's say, 7, how many players are going to play the game? It's just going to be like a futsal game in the middle. There's not going to be, maybe you score early.
But we've seen this. We've seen this against Vizela. We saw it against Estoril. We saw it against Trofense. We saw it against Portimonense. Games that we should utterly dominate, and we barely got any shots off because we had this form. They sat back. We got all our guys in the back. They're content getting a draw and hoping to nick a lucky goal.
Yeah,
and you just can't get through it. And I think with Zach's comment, us spending the amount of money we spent, the expectation is we start killing it, and the expectation is big because when you look at and I'm going to we chatted a little bit about this earlier, but the fact that George Jesus had some choices, and Florentino had some choices in Jota and some choices in some other players, and he made the choice not to use it. And you see these other guys doing well elsewhere. You better show up with what you have, because you've had a plethora of options.
Yeah.
You got the spend, you got the youth, and you got the cherry pick which one of the two you like best, and it's got to go. But I think it's a big difference. Again, going back to Miguel put a good comment here. He Rui Costa, man, like you saw him today on the pitch for the Molidad.
Yeah.
I forgot what sport it was for the ladies. But
yeah,
but he's showing up. I've seen clips of him showing up at B team games, showing up at the women's games, showing up at Molidad games. He is. It's different, man. There's a lot of
actually.
issues. Yeah.
Did you guys see? Did you guys see Abel Xavier? His fucking his hair was like fucking. You know when you go on GTA and you have the perfect sort of like hair, you know, all wavy and stuff, you know, blonde. I thought, is that real? Is that like a wig or some shit? Like, it was perfect. It was beautiful.
He's always been wild.
It was
always been wild.
Outstanding. That was. That's what you call it. Outstanding. I looked at it. I was like, ooh. It was like flowing in the wind. You know, it was like, oh man, it was beautiful.
But I think there's
like
a certain...
That's it, Ken. You know Ken,
the doll,
Barbie's boyfriend, whatever. Right? If
it's
he came
solid.
out of a nightclub, if he came out of his house to go to a nightclub, that's what you expect him to look like. You know, fucking perfect.
Solid.
Yeah.
But yeah,
solid.
No, it's again, let's maybe you want to switch up to Sharice match, play the match, all that fun jazz.
And according to Ethan, it's Shriz.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, awesome. Here we go. In all the excitement, I've been monopolizing the conversation quite a bit, and same with Luis. Ethan, man, let him go, man. Let him go. Let you get your thoughts out, buddy.
Me.
What was your player of the match, your moment of the match, your play, your Sharice, your Marcella?
Right.
Your sixth. What was the brand of the 8th pint you had during this first half?
8th pint.
It's definitely not, but all right. Yeah, man of the match. It's a tough one because even though we did win 6-1, there were a lot of good performances in the game, and there were some. It was like we came in spells. It was like the first 20-25 minutes, I was worried. I was thinking, oh no, like we've had some injuries. It's been very stop-start. Rafa, in my opinion, who's been the player of the season so far, he was extremely quiet. I know he did score 2 in the first half, but before that, he was extremely quiet. Did someone just say player of the match is Rafa?
That's as soon as you said that.
Yeah.
I like you gotta be like the opposite, right?
Someone also said Mighty Sharice for still being around.
I like that. I saw that. I was saying
Morris,
that one. That's cool.
But no, it's like Rafa. He was good, but he was quiet as well at the same time. It was really weird, but he had a great game. He got. I'm pretty sure he got an assist, 2 goals. He done the job. He was good. He wasn't so good at times, but for me, my match today, even though I've absolutely slated him in the past, and can I do 2? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Players of the match.
Yeah, go for it.
Number 1, Darwin. Obviously, I'm a striker myself, and his work rate today is the best I've ever seen it. He chased down everything. He pressed everything. He kept the ball well. That cross for Grimaldo's goal was literally perfect. It was real good. So for me, him for my first player, as you could say. My second one is Bernardo, the young kid who came on. As I said earlier, it's not easy coming on for João Mario. He's so influential on the team. The way we play, I think it's mainly dictated around him. And for him to come on in the first half in this sort of scenario, he did extremely well. And like, if someone said to me like, he's coming in the first half. Like a lot of people can struggle to get into the game, but he fitted.
What was your shoes? The drinks. The drinks.
What's up,
The drinks.
mate?
He dropped the phone.
Ah,
I will let him get back. He's
we
getting
like to
set.
drink with Ethan because Ethan is our mate.
I love it. Amazing.
Absolute shambles.
I love it. I love it. It was perfect timing. Perfect timing.
I've had a mare. Oh dear, there's too much of this lip. Tea. Too much of that.
Go
Yeah,
on.
no kidding.
Good it is,
Well,
mate.
I think
Go
Boris
on,
is.
out.
Did you have a Charisse per se, or was there one particular that you'd lean towards?
Sorry, what was that?
Would you say you had Charisse that you'd lean towards in terms of
Sharisha.
yeah,
Did I say that
Charissa?
right?
She's
Yeah. Whatever.
He's getting better and better.
I'm getting better. I'm getting there. But for me, we won 6-1. I'm not going to pick anyone out from the team because even though it was a very up and down sort of game, I think everyone had a decent performance. I wouldn't single anyone out saying they was a bad performance, but for me, it's JJ 100% because being in England and not being Portuguese, it's kind of hard to know what's going on behind the scenes at the club, and hearing what I've heard like on Twitter. I know that's not the most valuable source, but anyway, what I hear and the way he's conducted himself to the players, apparently like going nuts in the change rooms, his coaching philosophy, apparently squaring up to other players is like, as a fan, I don't appreciate that. And being a player myself, I would not appreciate that either. So for me, it's him because I think this was a player's performance today, all of this here. And JJ, even though he was the manager and he set the starting 11 out, what I've heard behind the scenes and all this, that and the other, it's just like, it's not really respectful. And I'm pretty sure he's like saying he wants to leave at the end of the season.
It is. And Zach, he can echo it because he's not Portuguese. He's getting the Benfica news via the he's in the UK, just from the fans, from what he sees and things of the sort. And I do have to say that the communication from the club with George Jesus has been kind of tough. I think this was a tough game across the board to call player of the match, a Sharice the match. Yeah. I love Darwin. I loved Everton. I loved Rafa. Grimaldo had an amazing game. Gilberto showed up. Like, you can talk about Bernardo and kind of him popping up, the way he showed up and stuff to the big event. But if I had to pick one and only one, I'll kind of explain the why. It's going to be Everton. And the reasoning for this one, obviously, he had 2 assists, 2 goals. And it's the fact that he lost his spot in the starting 11, that things were looking so dicey for him. It kind of felt like it was make or break, and make or break happened actually weeks ago, and it had broke. And we were talking about, time to get this guy off this club. So something about a guy coming back, and I'm a sucker to players who get emotional when they're successful at Benfica. Like, when guys score goals, when guys like get off the pitch after being subbed off, and you can tell that they're visibly shook at having a good performance and the fans cheering for them. He was shook, and that kind of got at me. So that kind of is what gave me the player of the match. I'm going to, the Charisse, I couldn't figure out Charisse to save my life. But I'm gonna give credit to Miguel on the Charisse. I'll give it to Pizzi because it's just like, he just because he came on in the second half, and it was such an exciting game. I was excited about everyone on this team excited me. I was shitting on Odie recently. I felt Odie at least had not the greatest game, but at least an improvement. And when Pizzi came on, in the 65th minute, you kind of felt like it tapered off. Like, literally, that we already were up 6-1, but it felt like that love energy died off a little bit. So I'll kind of throw it to Pizzi on that side. And
you got a out for Pizzi.
Yeah, I like Pizzi. Don't get me wrong. I got a photo of Pizzi and my son. I got a kit with his name on it. I love the guy, but I just feel like, I don't know. If I had to pick one, it's tough though. I gotta say, hey, his Charisse is better than many other guys' performances in this past month, right? So I'd say it was very hard to pick one. I'd say my play of the match, and it's a funny one. It's George Jesus bringing on Bernardo. That to me
I forgot to do mine.
Sorry, there we go. I fucked up. There you go. Dude, what's your play?
No, you go. You go.
That's it. That's mine. Mine is yours.
Oh,
Yours
okay.
bring on Bernard. That was, to me, was the play of the match that sent a message that, things are looking really tough at that point in time. It's we're up 1-0, but Braga was pressing the heck out of us. They had actually went 1-1 at that point. Sorry. And it looked like we could potentially lose this match. And he didn't go with the tried and true Tarap to give us all a heartache. He went with something young and exciting, and it paid off.
Can I just link to that quickly? Obviously, as we know, Rui Costa's become the president, and JJ doesn't really like to introduce young sort of players to the squad, does he really?
Yeah.
I think with Rui Costa coming in and coming up through the academy system like he did, I think he's...
Yeah, there you go. See?
Well, I drink with Ethan because he believes I mate.
I don't know the rest of the song.
I don't know the rest of the fucking song.
You gotta help us fill in the bit. We'll get a
I
chance.
drink with Ethan because he believes I mate. And when we drink with Ethan, it drinks him down in 10, 9, 8, 7. I think that's it.
You're coming out of my laptop now and everything. It's...
Oh, beautiful.
I'm having
I love it in the background. I love it. Okay, Luis. Okay.
Go on. I need to sort myself out.
As he sorts himself out, so people know that Ethan does play to an extent. Luis has to gather up a bunch of people in the UK. He's got to go to a game, gather them all together, and then also they got to together have this chant ready, and then they got to make sure they pre before the match, get a few other people in on it. And when he's on the pitch, get the whole supporter section just going for it. You know what I mean?
We like to drink with Ethan because he believes I mate. Oh, mate, imagine. Get him dropped from the team. That'd be fucking...
that's my worst nightmare. Man. Sorry. What was I saying about that? Yeah, that's
play of the match.
Yeah, you're playing the match. Yeah.
I was thinking to what you said, Mario. JJ doesn't like to use his youth, and with Rui Costa coming up through the academy system like he did, for the time JJ is going to be in this role, as you will, I think he's definitely going to push playing youth players a lot more, and especially, unfortunately, it's kind of our main source of revenue, developing players and selling them on, sort of thing. By kind of stopping that and just buying big players and not using the youth players, that's kind of going to kind of stop that sort of revenue coming in. As much as I don't like selling on our players, that is the way we work, unfortunately. So by not playing the academy players, they're not going to get any value. They're not going to play. They have to go elsewhere to play football, and we're not going to get much of when they move on, if that makes sense, or much as them as a person. And I just think that's a real sort of negative about the club, but also a positive that someone like Rui Costa, who has a massive connection with the club and he's now the president, kind of oversees everything, is a real positive, because we can start to use people like Bernardo today. And I just wanted to say that was like a real big positive. I meant to say that earlier, but obviously I'm having an absolute mare here today. So
I'll just throw this up here. Jetson wasn't on the bench, but if it was a situation where Jean-Marie did get injured and he brought up Met, or just didn't believe in youth and didn't bring out Bernard, at least it's kind of a choice. You got a couple of young, talented guys and you're picking one of them. I think Jetson has potential, but yeah, man. Luis, go, man. Player of the match, release the match, some left of the match.
Oh, sorry. I was just showing Boris. Yeah. Anyway, Chorizo of the match. For me, has to be Vertonghen. I just didn't like how he looked in the only goal that Braga scored today. He's tired, and he's right to be tired. I mean, he's freaking age, and he's like playing a lot of games. To be honest, when I saw, it's funny because when I saw Verissimo get subbed out, I was like, oh shit, like we're on the ropes here. Who's gonna come on? And then I was like, Morato. Oh no, he's good. No, Morato. What the fuck? How did I not? And I was like, no, it's fine. He's better than Vertonghen, really. And then I was like, oh shit, I just said that. And the fact that I even said that sort of got to me. So for me, Chorizo of the match is Vertonghen. My play of the match, I don't know what goal it is, but it's an Everton goal. And he's got it on the wing. I think it's a third, fourth, I don't know. He's got it on the wing, fakes with his left foot, sits him down, sends him to Belém for some pastel nata, right? And then finishes with his right, finesses it with his right foot. I think it might be the fourth goal. I'm not sure. And on that note, my man of the match is Everton.
I haven't done this in a while. It's been a while.
I
since we
haven't done
talked-
this in a while. Was Ethan like this is something rude as fuck? Was Ethan part of the show when we like did this with the onion?
No,
right?
this was preseason. Were you on in the preseason?
Okay, so for the ones that don't know, for the OG ones,
Yeah, I
said,
remember it. I'm not sure if I was there though.
No, because
Right.
it was last year. Last year, wasn't it? Last year.
Right. Fuck,
You
that's
said-
how long
said-
ago it was.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
was when he
remember
first-
it. I remember watching it.
This is
Oh,
onion,
Oh dear.
right? So for the ones that don't know, Everton is actually got a nickname, Cebolinha, right? And
I
I
remember.
got some chili. I got some chili here. I'm gonna
Because it was a spicy performance today.
beautiful.
Very
eh?
spicy performance.
Hello. Mario's always got my back. And I got some pepper as well.
You got a guy.
I
with
mean,
salt and pepper on his hair like Raph.
carry on. I mean, you don't have to watch me do this. You guys can get, I got a lot of pepper on there. This is gonna be great. I like what he said. Like, whenever Cebolinha, that's his nickname, right? That's why I'm
Yeah.
eating onions. Scores or has a great performance, I'll eat some raw onion, and then I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, fuck here now.
As you eat it, since you just fine tuned the chant, it's we like to drink with Ethan because Ethan is our mate. He's got to eat an onion. He better clean the plate.
There you go. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, guys.
There we go.
Bon
Cheers.
appetit.
I still haven't done my player of the match. I still
Oh
haven't
yeah,
done
go yeah.
Go, mate.
Go.
it. Yeah.
While you do that, Luigi will try to clean
yeah.
up those little cebolas. Those
It's fucking
cebolas.
beautiful.
But yeah, my player of the match was Rafa's. Well, both of them, but Rafa's first goal. I thought it was a real good goal, good movement. Sat that player down and then make the keeper as well. So, yeah, that's mine.
We just gotta, gotta zoom in on this, man. It's amazing. I love this. I just love it. It's gold. It's gold.
To be honest, mate, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Don't say
It's
it's nice.
quite nice
I love Cibola.
because of this.
I actually do love Cibola. I'm getting Petey.
That's great.
I mean, it's starting to come out my nose. Apart from that, all good. all good. All good.
I love it. I love it.
That is
I got FIFA after this. Great stuff.
All right, guys. As you know, international break coming up. But there will be
Another one.
Another one. It's always another one. It's because of condensed schedule. It's been insane. But speaking of FIFA, Luigi has been working tirelessly and advancing Benfica's career prospects in his career mode, and he'll be posting.
There'll
some
be
more
one
content.
tomorrow evening. There'll be another one.
Yeah, it'll be another one
Episode
there.
5.
We are still waiting for that Barca tattoo.
I know.
Actually, he did. He messaged me.
Sorry.
He said Luis was actually looking up tattoo parlors recently. We were chatting.
No.
about
I got a guy. Yeah, I got a guy, but like the guy's like he's been a dick. No, actually, he might watch this. No, you're good, mate. Because he's like, I'm really busy. I'm like, bruv, this takes like 10 minutes. He's like, yeah, nah. So he said to me he's gonna let me know on Thursday. Which day is that? 11th, I think it is. Yes, 11th. He's gonna let me know on the 11th when he can do it. I'll document everything, man. I'll get my cheddar. Get a missus, hey, hello. Somehow. She'll come down and record everything.
Now there'll be that, and then the kit. We kind of had that contest. We haven't really launched it yet, have we? I know we talked about it.
No.
No, we haven't.
We will
launched it
launch.
yet.
Well,
I think
we will. We'll have
Barcelona. After Barcelona game, we'll try and get Joey here because realistically, it was his idea. So I think but we got a giveaway coming up. We got a subscriber button coming up as well. Man, it's just fucking great things, bro. It's like Christmas.
Going up,
Guess
going
what?
up in the world.
It comes in a month.
Yeah, because the idea is that it's right as soon as the final match.
Mario looks like Santa already. Okay.
All right.
And everything's going downhill.
Exactly. All right, guys. You guys, thank you so much for joining in the chat. All the banter. My God, what a way to end before we go on the international break. 6-1, regain our confidence. We were ready to say, screw these guys. So we were at our limit. October was a shit month, but November's looking up nice and bright. So And I'm gonna go cut up a Cibola upstairs because Luigi makes this look really nice. It looks really, it looks really good, man. It's looking really good, man. I tell you, like, I don't know about people in the chat, but I guarantee you there's someone watching this. You know what'd be really good with that? Some chorizo. He takes some chorizo, he put that into a pan with the piment
next time.
and the pepper. We need to get a hot plate next to Luigi, and as the things going on, he'll be prepping it, right?
Yeah, right here, right there.
Yeah. We should actually, what we'll do is we will
May I have some more, sir?
we'll give each player an ingredient. Each player will be an ingredient. And whatever the
No.
3 people on the show is, we pick
No. Well, to be fair, I can't really taste that much still having COVID like 3 months ago. Like I'm starting to taste things like vaguely, but not a lot at all. So to be fair, I could be up for that, but do I really want to be putting some food that I really don't like in my mouth?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Yeah, Cibola's nice, man.
It's asking me out your nose. It's great. It's finished though. It's all
I
done.
will say, I don't know. Last year, I'll have to pull up the clip. Last year, we had Sergio as Santa on the show. He came fully decked out, dressed as Santa Claus. I don't know if you guys remember that.
We'll have to do that before the last game of the season.
Yeah, we'll have to get another.
We need to have a Christmas show, man.
Yeah,
we'll get another one. But for sure, man, we got lots of time, exciting times. Make sure you guys check out Team Canada. And then
one thing though, guys. Quick before we go, if any of you out there suffer from sinus, onion. It's coming through me, man. I can feel it literally clearing up as it goes, mate. Like mad. So yeah.
I was about to say that. Sorry. The watch along show for the Barca game. It's like literally as soon when kickoff happened, I was there like, we should have done a watch along today. Like I could have easily done that. We need to start like getting on that because that's like a game changer. But
yes, there was that request. I am actually off that week. I blocked off that week. If timing works out well, I will be free. And so it depends on whoever else we can get. But we will get. I'll
let you in on a secret.
Go on.
There's like a 40% chance I'll be going to that game. But hey,
watch along. You get the extended battery pack, the Wi-Fi. You get
Pedro's got tickets. I just need to get the vaccines.
I need mine. I need mine. So like really badly.
Yeah, I need to get the vaccines.
You just need the piece of paper. That's all you need.
Right. Anyway, it's a Tuesday. Sure, yes, it is. Yes,
we'll do it. We'll get something going for sure. And if Luigi's at the game, he's promised to wear like some kind of strap with a phone on his forehead, with a battery pack on top, and he'll be going live the whole time. I don't know. Can we get pulled? If we do a live and you're at the game with your own camera,
to be honest, mate, it's
our
worth the fucking risk, mate. He's like, well, I'm recording it. Yeah, I'm there.
It's our feed. And if anyone takes our clips, we can monetize
BA90 TV, mate. We're coming for you. We're coming for you, BTV. BA90 TV. Coming.
Sponsored by Cibola. Find your
a freaking virgin, a Z virgin. Like the virgin olive oil thing.
Aisle 6 on Ping Dos.
Oh man, that onion's gone down to my stomach, and it's brewing. It's definitely doing something in there.
I don't think it's a good thing either.
All right, guys, have a great night. Good, thanks so much. Peace.
Fuck it.